Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. Please continue to pray for me by singing along with me, gesturing at your screen, and leaving a dislike on this video. Let's sing it a few more times while we wait for a few people to show up. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. All right, please pray as hard as you can for me. I'm having possibly the second worst summer that I've ever had, and both of them happened here in Phoenix. So I'm really going to have to think hard about pivoting my career, move out of the Phoenix area. Um, and to understand why I'm having such a hard time, I thought I was doing something smart, but it backfired on me. What had happened was last winter, December, I was thinking about replacing my car. My Kia Forte was pretty much on its last heartbeats. And I could have replaced the car last winter. But in my mind, I'm thinking, I don't have a car payment on it. And so I budget like I have a car payment. If I could push it out, even if I could push it out 2 months, that's 2 extra months of what I would have paid for a car payment that I could use toward the next car, right? And that was my logic. I'll let you think what could go wrong with that. That's my logic. And 1 month, 2 month, 3 months, whatever it is, that's still an extra, a few hundred, a few $1,000s toward the next car. It seemed like a smart thing to do, right? Actually, had I called Dave Ramsey, he probably would have told me to do the same thing, right? I listened to him enough to hear him say, "Oh, put your car payment toward the next car, right? Just drive it into the ground, right?" And unfortunately, I forgot about the risk of not knowing when that car is going to die, right? And it didn't happen on the best of weeks, right? Had I gone car shopping in December, yeah, I would have had a little bit less money, but I would have had a lot less pressure as well. At the time, I had a better living situation. The car wasn't really mandatory. Could have taken public transit for whatever time period. And so unfortunately, with the hot weather and with where I work right now, that really wasn't an option anymore. And I really come to regret it, right? And I well, plus side is I still don't have a car payment today. But you know what? Even if I had taken out a car payment back in December, I would have paid it off by now anyway. That's how I am. Even if it was a long payment plan, right? But I really come to regret it. Did you buy used? I bought a used car. It was a 2012 Honda Civic. There's something else that I'm very upset about. The car doesn't have a backup camera. I suck at backing out. Give you an idea of why I really need that backup camera. 8 years ago, I had a Mitsubishi Lancer. It didn't have a backup camera either. It was old. It was 2010, I think. And one day, I get pulled over. It was just after I had bought the car. I got pulled over by the police. It turns out I didn't realize that I didn't turn the light on fully. He didn't give me a ticket or anything, but he left my car in a weird situation. He pulled me over on the side of uh, 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 we'll call it the business route, right? You got shopping plazas and all that, and he made me pull into this car dealership. And after I had pulled in and he talked to me and he left, I realized that the only way out of there was to back out. Like cars were parked here, and the only way out was to go all the. There was not enough room to make a 3-point turn, and there was no exit on the end of that thing. And so I was really upset. And what really compounded the upset was that the following morning I emailed the police department to explain the situation. Thank you for warning me about the lights. I just want to point out that the choice of I was pulled over. I had to back out of there. I'm not very experienced, and that was kind of terrifying. Maybe think about that. I mean, it's great that you pull people over to warn them about their lights, but think about where you do it. And the officer's response was so hostile. He said that I should turn in my license. I don't deserve to drive. He said it in a better wording than that, but he basically said that I should give up my license if that scares me. And it was very hostile. And after that, um, I, uh, I really despise having to back out of places. Back in Seattle, we used to have this park and ride, and it was a very upsetting to park there because when you turned in, you couldn't see if there were any parking spaces. And if there weren't, and you had to pull out, you had to back out like that. It was very crowded. I mean, this is downtown Seattle, so it's very understandable. But I would get to the parking lot, and I would literally park my car on the street and walk in to make sure there was a parking spot. And people would give me heck about that. One time, I almost got my car damaged because somebody decided to zoom in ahead of me, and that's how much I despise backing out of it. And then I got the Kia Forte with the backup camera, and I was like, wow, I can't believe what I've been missing out on. And anyways, I need to go get the backup camera. Yeah, I realize that you can get some installed afterwards, but I just spent a small fortune on the car, and it's just giving me a lot of anxiety. I have money for the backup camera, but I just have a lot of financial anxiety, is what it is. I do that to myself a lot. I've had times where I didn't eat right because of it. You're right. But I need to get it now because if I put off getting it and then something happens to the car, I'm really going to regret it. And then I'm going to still need the backup camera anyway, on top of all the other costs associated with getting into an accident. So I really need to avoid doing that, especially. But I keep giving myself heck about it. And I'm very upset at that police department. So this is Seattle. If you want, I encourage you to write to them. Although it was 8 years ago, they might not remember the situation and voice your opinion on that. I can't find the email though. I swore it was an email, but I can't find it anymore. Ah, but very upsetting. Oh, and earlier today I got into another near miss. What had happened was I'm just so lost. I got to a red light, and all I could think about was the backup cameras, the fact that I had to replace my car on such a short notice. I recently started dating a distant cousin of Carrie Underwood, but she's a little bit big. She said she wanted to lose weight, but you know how that goes, and I've been praying for her. I want her to lose weight too, and so that and what else did I think about? And then the Computer Olympiad conference. A lot of times, conferences are really tricky for me. Even workplace meetings can be tricky. I rage quit a job at a startup company one time because of it. I was at a meeting. I had this brilliant idea. It was a software company, a startup. I had this idea, and nobody wanted to hear me out. People talked over me. I couldn't get two sentences in. A lot of things you want to say you want to present, and you don't want to just say, "Oh, I think I should write this code," right? You want to lead up to it, but people would get sidetracked as I lead up to it. Couldn't get two sentences out at the meeting, and guess what happened 2 weeks later? They're working on that idea, but it's not my idea anymore because they talked over me. I was so upset that I caused trouble there. I actually got Donald Trump from that place, thank God, because I really needed the unemployment money at the time. But it was so very upsetting. And so, unfortunately, people talk over me all the time at workplaces, at publications, at parties, even at a date. It's not unusual for me to take a date to a restaurant and to have the waiter hijack the conversation away from us. Um, does your Civic have the engine rail? Thank God, no. We checked everything out. It's passed Arizona's emission test, so which is pretty tough. And it passed it year after year after without any issues. So that was good. We got the Carfax report. And so I learned a little bit of a hack to check the tailpipe because if it's burning oil, it will have carbon all over it. Um, and so, All right. Uh, but oh, I forgot to remove the old car battery though. Dang. I wanted to recycle the lead out of the car battery, but you know what? I donated the car, so they could probably make better use of that. Uh, I still have my old car battery from a few years ago, and I hope to pour a large lead Buddha out of it, at least a few 100 pounds. Okay, but so earlier today I got so sidetracked by all the thoughts. The the girl that I'm dating and her promising to lose weight and hoping that goes right, the being ignored at parties, the car troubles, the dash cams, the general summertime kind of problems. And the light had turned green and I didn't see it. And just as I look up, it turns yellow again. And the guy behind me was so upset at me. And he said, "Where'd you learn to drive and all that?" He was shaking his fist like this. Oh man. So uh all right. Please continue to pray for me by leaving a dislike on this video. This is the Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum bum bum